Hi, my name is Victoria, and I'm on the Springboarders with GirlSpring, and I also serve on the YouTube committee. I am thrilled to be interviewing Eleanor Estes, CEO of Tech Providers Inc., for our Wonder Woman series. Hi, Miss Estes,
Hey, Victoria, thank you so much for having me.
and thank you for being with us today. So,
Absolutely.
to start, my first question is, can you briefly elaborate on what exactly Tech Providers Inc. does, and how do you guys operate?
Sure. So, Tech Providers, we are a staffing company and we started as an IT staffing company based around Y2K when there was a shortage of programmers. And now we have grown to staff. We staff IT, financial and accounting, professional, admin, and kind of almost really anything else, anything but like a factory job. Um, and we staff throughout the 50 United States. And we do permanent, temporary, and contract staffing.
Okay. So, did you have any challenges getting to where you are today due to the fact that you're a woman? And if so, how did you overcome them?
Well, I think it's a great question. Thank you for asking it. One thing I think was really helpful to me is early on, I went to an all girls boarding school in high school. It's called the Madeira School. And I think being able to find your voice early and hold your opinion and kind of have an incubator like environment like that where you're not kind of challenge you're challenged to grow in your own way there really helped me professionally. And so I've absolutely come against challenges. I think every woman does. I think every person does. And I think it's how you meet those challenges. I have a very strong conviction, and I'm not easily intimidated, I guess, by other people. And I think that was really formed early, and it has done me well in my professional career.
Yes. So, you talked about your high school and how that's helped you, but I was wondering, what did you study in college that allowed you to pursue your career?
I studied history. I have an undergrad history degree, and then I have a master's in biology. Neither of which are applicable to what I'm doing today. I'm glad you asked that question because I think it's really important to um, just in general in life, you really don't know where you're going to end up. You have thoughts and goals, and I think those are all fantastic, and it keeps you moving forward. But really, the kind of exciting part about life is you really never know where you're going to end up. So I have a history degree, I have a master's in biology, and I'm running an IT staffing firm and a local distillery. So I think you can keep yourself open, and I've always loved to learn, and I've always loved to listen and be educated. And I think it's kind of exciting to see like where you can go. You never know.
Okay, so another question that I have for you is, what is your favorite part about your job, and what is the most challenging part about your job?
All right. Well, my favorite part about my job is hands down my team. I think that I absolutely love my team at Tech Providers, and I love my team at Redmont. And I think it's so crucial to have just a really great culture at your workplace. And that's something that's super important to me. And I absolutely is my favorite part. My most challenging, I think, for me is time. There are so many demands on it. You have to prioritize. And I just think that's right now in my life, my biggest challenge is how to get everything in that I'm trying to do.
Okay. And so the big question, of course, is how has COVID impacted your work? A lot of things have changed, but being a tech company, I assume that you guys are probably ahead of the game. So I was just wondering, how has COVID impacted tech
Um,
providers?
I think COVID was interesting, and it was really scary as a business owner. I feel lucky with Tech Providers because Tech Providers is a staffing company, but a lot of our contractors are IT contractors, and so IT lends itself to working from home. And so obviously, like everybody else, we've had to ramp up the ability to work from home and the ability to communicate with our clients and follow their protocols and put in our own protocols in place, protect our workers, and make sure everybody was safe.
Yes. So earlier you stated how you were also the CEO of a Redmont Distilling Company, and I was just wondering, how do you juggle both? Like, how do you do it, and how did you come about becoming the CEO of Redmont?
Well, it was just a mutual friend, a connection we had, and I was actually at a meeting with for tech providers, and it sort of evolved into us becoming first investors, and then I guess in April of 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, I became CEO of Redmont. And it was really an interesting time. It was the rebranding and relaunch of a company, and we we ended up pivoting a lot at Redmont. We ended up pivoting and making hand sanitizer, which, as you know, a lot of distilleries did. And then it was also a rethinking of what we wanted to do marketing wise. We were launching a brand again, right? So we really focused on brand recognition, and instead of focusing on, obviously all the restaurants and bars were closed, not an ideal time to launch a vodka product, but um, people were at home, and we tried to kind of interact with our audience there instead of at a restaurant. So it's been interesting. It's been really fun.
Yes, and so a big part of tech providers is helping people find jobs. So, what interview or job seeking tips can you offer to people who will be watching this video?
Well, I think that it's always important to be on time. I would say, show up looking professional and prepared. I would show up with a couple of questions in mind, and I would do your research on who you're meeting with. When I interview people for tech providers or Redmont, I really hire on that interview itself and their communication skills and the ability of that person that they're presenting themselves. And even if the person's nervous, it's okay. If you're well informed, if you're well dressed and put together, if you're on time, all of that obviously overpowers your nervousness. And you should be nervous because you're in a job interview, and if you didn't want it and you didn't have any skin in the game, why are you there, right?
Exactly, exactly. So, you gave us some helpful advice for interviewing for jobs, but what's the number one piece of advice or any advice you'd offer to girls interested in pursuing careers in the tech field?
In the tech field, so it's interesting. So tech providers is a staffing company, and we place people in tech fields and every other field. I think that a tech job with a certain skill, you will always be in demand. That skill may change what the skill is, but you will always be able to sort of get a job, have a career, and they're well-paying careers. A lot of them now are remote. So that's been really interesting. And like we talked about earlier, a lot of our workforce went remote, and it was easy because it was IT, and it lends itself to that. But I think having a profession is a good thing, a CPA or another trained profession like that. If you're a hard working person, you will get ahead in life. Work beats sort of smarts and education every time. And we've all heard these wonderful, incredible stories of people who have done incredible things. And at the base of every one of it, obviously, education is incredibly important. And how you use that is important. But working, nothing replaces working hard.
Well, thank you so much for that. I couldn't have asked for a better answer to that question. It's just hard work pays off, and that can apply to anything, as you said. So
Yep.
I'm so excited to share this interview with our viewers because I've gained so much information and I'm sure they will. And I'm just going to let people know, please feel free to visit her website at www.techproviders.com and Redmont Distilling, and check out our other Wonder Woman videos and interviews here on our YouTube channel and on our GirlSpring website, where you'll find other articles and quizzes.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Victoria. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.